Hello all of you beautiful people, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. As you can see when you read the description of the video or the name of the video, it's literally let me explains interval training. So in the time that I was gone, people were still messaging me, I told you, and asking me questions and stuff like that. And I have finally realized that people really have no clue what interval training is. And it only struck me later on after communicating with people and explaining to them and talking to them, and it's like, okay, hang on a sec, I need to be more clear about what interval training is, because I get stuff like, oh yes, I love interval training, I do it on my treadmill. That's my child screaming at some game. Sorry about that. Back to interval training. So first of all, if somebody tells you that they're doing interval training on a treadmill, you know that it's impossible to do interval training on a treadmill. The only way that I know that you can do interval training is either on an elliptical trainer or a, what the heck do you call it, rowing machine, or sprinting by running like on a flat surface, not with any help from a machine. Okay, so I don't even know how do we explain this. Interval training, people, is not a question of running fast for 10 seconds and relaxing for 10 seconds. First of all, if you can do interval training more or interval training more than 10 minutes, okay, you're not doing interval training. All you're doing is you're changing your speed of your long distance running, okay? So by doing interval training, if you do interval training on a treadmill, what you're doing is you're doing cardio, and you're doing long distance running, and you're doing a little bit faster and then a little bit slower and then a little bit faster. That's not interval training. Interval training is something that is supposed to be so intense, okay? Because I couldn't figure out for the life of me, people that's been telling me, oh, they've been, you know, doing interval training for years. And I'm thinking, especially if they don't look like it. If you do interval training, people, you'll be ripped to shreds. And then you get some person that's got the runner body that's telling me they do interval training. Or, you know, you get people that tell me how they love interval training. People, it's impossible to love interval training. Interval training makes you want to puke, okay? I don't do interval training unless I have no other choice. And I consider myself fairly fit. Not at the moment, I'm not fit. I'm still getting back into the being out of the gym for 6 weeks and absolutely dying every time I go back to the gym, because I've only been back for 2 weeks. So I am unfit at the moment. I'm suffering in the gym. I'm feeling very sorry for myself. I don't feel like going, because the whole getting back into fit process is really shitty. It doesn't feel good. I don't like it. It's hard. My lungs are permanently feeling like it's falling on the floor after one exercise. The other day I literally thought I was going to get a freaking asthma attack or something. I was doing my first set of squats, and when I put the rack back, I couldn't breathe. I was like panting, and I thought to myself, oh my god, I got to get home or to a hospital or something, because that's what it felt like. Okay, when you do interval training, that is what you're supposed to feel. When you do a really heavy set of weight training, people, when you're done that weight training set, you feel like you're gonna die. Like you have no air in your lungs. That's your fast twitch muscles working at a very short pace, like a burst. Okay, that's what weight training is supposed to be. You go so heavy that when you're done, you want to pass out. You're dead. You need 60 seconds of recovery before your lungs even get back in your body and you can breathe. I mean, anything that you can do at a repetitive movement for a minute or longer, that is not intense training. That is not interval training. That's not weight training, people. If you can do weight training and you can lift a weight for a whole full minute, you're not training properly. You're not going to get anywhere. It's the exact same thing as doing cardio. So one day there was in San Diego, there was a buddy of mine from the gym, and he was telling me how, you know, because he was doing, I mean, he was a cop, so obviously he runs a lot, and he's got, I don't know what the hell he does, but anyway. So I said to him, okay, do interval training. And he's like, oh no, I do interval training. And then I'm going, okay, fine, that's fine. You don't look like a person who does interval training, but that's fine. So then he went back home, and then a week later I spoke to him again, and he's like, how's the interval? I said, how's the interval training? Oh, it's going wonderfully, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. So I ended up, and he was telling me also, oh no, he did interval training for the last 3 days on the treadmill. That's when I realized this dude is high or not understanding interval training. So I said to him, okay, I'm going to do interval training with you. So I took him to a treadmill. I said to him, oh, warm up. So he was warming up, you know, just going a normal pace, the typical curve technique of, oh, keep your heart rate there to burn your fat, me. That's the rate that I had him at to kind of warm up, right? I said to him, are you ready? And he's like, yes, I'm ready. I said, okay, go. Okay. He started going fast and fast, and he was going fast and smiling. I said to him, when are you getting to interval? Oh, I'm doing my interval. I'm going, you're not at the interval. You're breathing, you're talking, you're smiling. This is not an interval. Go faster. So he went faster and he went faster and he went faster and he went faster. Whenever he got to a speed where I could see, okay, now he's at the point where he can't breathe anymore, I said to him, now you're at your interval, now you start counting. He got off of that machine and he left. He's like, I can't do this. It took him, people, 25 seconds at least to get to interval training speed, to get to the speed where your heart rate goes so fast and your lungs breathe so hard that no air goes in anymore. Like you want to literally, he got off of the machine and he was holding onto the bar. That is interval training. When you've done one interval, you get off of that machine, or you don't have to get off. You're supposed to kind of slow down and then wait until your air and your lungs get back and your heart rate calms down a little bit. Okay, when you're at that point where you want to puke or pass out, that was an interval. And you telling me that after, the people that do sprinting, in the marathon, not the marathon runners, what the hell am I trying to say? The people at the Olympics that do sprinting, people, okay? They do 10 minutes of interval training and then they're dead, okay? That's their training for the day. They train every day or twice a day or whatever. But in one training session, the fittest Olympian person can do 10 minutes of interval training. And that person is so freaking fit. Nobody, I mean, if you're telling me that you can do 40 minutes of interval training while the person that's an Olympic athlete can only do 10, something is wrong with the picture. So you guys need to understand this and understand it well. Because anybody who comes to me and they tell me that they like interval training has no clue what interval training is, okay? I've only ever done interval training twice in my life, and that is literally the last 3 weeks before a contest if I wasn't quite lean enough, okay? That's the fastest fat burning thing, just like weight training. So if you're doing weight training and you are tweaking something and you do interval training, I will not do interval training on a regular basis. It is the shittiest freaking workout you can ever do in your life. And anybody who tells you they like it, they're either on drugs or they're bullshitting you or they don't have no idea what they're talking about. Okay, so let's get to how you're going to do interval training. People, anything where you don't control the speed at which you do, like with a treadmill, you have to push a button to get you to go faster on the treadmill. You cannot do interval training on a machine if the machine is the thing that is going to make your speed for you, okay? Interval training is a burst. It's a burst of energy that is so fast. Like if you do, I used to do interval training. I tried doing it on a treadmill, a rowing machine. It was too hard. I thought I was going to absolutely die and have an asthma attack and end up in hospital. It was too much. It was, my whole body just couldn't take it. I'm not fit enough to do it. So I ended up doing my interval training on a treadmill, okay? It takes you 10 seconds at least from starting fast to getting to the point of so fast that the machine sounds like it's going to break. It literally squeaks under you. And I'm talking, it's got to be so fast. And if you are scared of the machine creaking and going crazy under you and you look like a retard, because you literally do, because you go at such a fast speed that it's just, you look stupid. Like it's not a nice glide or anything, or not even a fast glide. You go to the point where you're going to puke. The longest it takes me, when I used to do it, it takes me about 10 seconds to get to full speed. And the maximum that I could last, okay, when I was at my fittest, at my best, like lean, ripped, ready for everything to go, I think it was 7 seconds. I could keep my interval at 7 seconds of maximum speed. After that, I started getting lightheaded. and I started seeing stars. And it was like, okay, gotta get my oxygen back in my body. Gotta get my oxygen back in my body. So people, when you do interval training, every single interval that you do, the main aim is if you can just do an interval for 5 seconds, okay? So it's like sprinting. And don't even do it on a bloody machine. There's a difference between running fast, okay, and running slow. That's not an interval. An interval is the maximum speed at which your body, the maximum power that your body can abuse, okay? This is the maximum way you can abuse your body. It took that guy 25 seconds to get to the speed. When I told him, now you're ready to go, he thought his interval was over. He didn't even get to the maximum speed. It took him 25 minutes for me standing there going faster, 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 you gotta go faster, before he got to that speed. And he said to me, well, why do I need that? And I said to him, okay, here's the difference between interval training and long distance training. If you're gonna chase down some person who stole something or got a gun or, you know, whatever, some crook, okay? If you do interval training, you catch him within 10 seconds, because most of these criminals, okay, they're not fit. I mean, they're on drugs, they're doing this, but they can run long distances. If you've got adrenaline going and your cops chasing you or whatever, you can run pretty fast, but not for long, okay? So this is what I told the cop. I said, okay, if you do interval training, you're going to be faster than the guy who's used to running away from cops, because he runs miles and miles and miles and miles before he gets to wherever he wants to be. And he's most probably on speed anyway. With interval training, you want to be at your maximum speed so that you can catch the guy within 10 seconds. Okay, so you can either be faster than the crook you're chasing and chase him and catch him within the first 10 seconds of you actually being there, or you can chase him for 600 miles before you actually catch him and you know, put him in gloves. Okay, so this is what you guys need to think of when you do an interval training. You need to run or ski or whatever you do on your whatever machine you're using, where you are the one in control of the speed, okay? And you have to go so fast, although as though there's either a cop chasing you and you just stole a TV, or whether a friggin' monster or zombie, or well, a zombie is slow, but something real mean. Like, you need to get that adrenaline going, and you need to go so fast that when you've done that interval, you're dead. There's no air. It's not it's literally, there's no air. Okay, your lungs do not have the it's like an anaerobic type of thing. Okay, that's what the interval training is. So you guys need to go and restart your interval training, rethink it. Very good fat blaster, but it is hell. It is not fun. Anybody who has fun with interval training has no idea what interval training is. So I hope this helped. I hope I cleared it up. I know I got a lot of people that called me or messaged me on Facebook or on YouTube and whatever, and told me, oh, I'm doing interval training, and you know, I've been doing it for, you know, I do it twice a week for 40 minutes. No, people, and I keep on explaining it in my messages, and I typed like 6 pages long trying to explain to these people. So I decided, okay, I'm going to dedicate one video completely to just interval training. Okay, if you guys do not want to do it on a machine, do it outside. Get yourself a meter stick or a marker or something. Start running about, I would say, I don't know, 20 meters away from where your starting point is, okay? And then see how fast you can go. So it's going to take, you can't start counting your interval from the moment you start racing. You got to get to your top speed. Once you're at your top speed, then you're going to say, okay, my top speed has to be at that marker. So in the beginning, it's going to take you a lot longer to get to your top speed, and also your top speed you'll only be able to hold for a couple of seconds, even if it's just 2 seconds, or like this cop. The moment I got him to maximum speed, he got off the machine and he's like, I'm done. I'm not going any further. That might be what it's going to be for you in the beginning. But as you train more and as you practice more and as your body get used to this, you will get stronger, your lungs will be more you know, have more of a capacity to deal with the fact that your brain's not getting an extra oxygen, like your oxygen is dead. Okay, and it does get better over time if you're determined enough to do it. I don't do it unless I compete. That's it. And I haven't competed in 2 years, so why in hell would I go and punish myself like that? I do weight training, I build my body, and that's what I'm doing. That's the main exercise I'm doing. So get your guys, if you don't want to go on a machine, go outside, okay, to try and figure out your body and how it works first. Take a 50-meter distance with a marker. Run that 50 meters and make sure when you get past that marker, you're at top speed, okay? Then you run at that top speed until you can't anymore throw something down. Look at the distance, okay? If you don't have a timer, if you don't have a buddy that can time you or something like that, look at the distance that you ran. And then the next time you do it and the next time you do it, make sure that the distance that you measure from your top speed till you throw your rock down or whatever it is you throw down, or your timer or something, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But I can tell you something, it's going to take you a long, long time. I mean, if you can do, I don't care how long you've trained, okay? If you've never done interval training properly and you can do 10 intervals on your first day without a problem, it's not an interval, okay? I don't care how fit you are. I don't care how many long distances. I can take any marathon runner, and if I train them with interval training, they'll be dead, okay? There is no way. And here's the funny thing. Most people, oh, and there's my 15 minutes. Most people that are marathon runners or long distance runners, they can't even do interval training. They can't get to maximum speed. They can go and go and go, and you can make them go faster and faster, but they do not have the capacity or the muscle strength to be able to get to their maximum speed ever, okay? So this is a whole different ballgame, guys. Go practice and let me know how you guys are doing with interval training and if you got it right, okay? And hopefully you do. Have a great day. I'm going to do another video for you guys. On some matte shadows, some good stuff that I bought, and some boo-boos. Have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.